Greetings, greetings, greetings. We are in the lab. We're in the lab. Oh, no, 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 no. We're not in the lab. We're in JLHQ. We're in Justice League headquarters. We are here at Hot 2100, the headquarters of Hot 2100. That's where we are. And this is Run Tell That. And as always, we have our special guest on. And this special guest is tied to me. Special guest is family. He's family. We're going to be getting to some other issues with regard to him. But we are here as family right now. We're here as family right now. And so we got to say this. We got with us again, Reverend Marco George. We got to do like that. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Doing phenomenal, big cousin. Good to see you as always.
Yes, sir.
Much love to you, sir.
Same here, same here. So now we got to do it like this. We got to do it like this, like we do it everybody. Who are you? Who are you?
I am the son of Carolyn and Paul. George, that is, grandchild of Evelina Fuller Lovett Polite of the Fuller clan out of Squire Polk community, Hilton Head, South Carolina. That's who I be.
So now let y'all know this. Y'all hear him say Evelina. My mama name is Evelyn. So let y'all understand. So y'all understand that we straight Pope right there. Straight Pope right there. What is interesting, some people don't understand. The Bryans, the Fullers, the Walters, all were cousins, right? And they all had land right there. They got land right there at the family compound. That's what they did. And so that's why Boy Fuller and all of them, that my mama walking down that side, all of them right there. So y'all Evelina, Evelyn. So y'all see them family ties.
Yeah.
But he trying to get me killed right now, and I ain't even gonna try to play with him like that. He's also married.
I am the husband of one wife. My wife, my Caribbean queen, I like to call her, from Nassau, Bahamas, my wife Myra. So yes, I am a husband. I'm a father of five awesome children I've been blessed to raise, and I think they've been a tremendous blessing in my life. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, because he's trying to get me killed because I ain't about to have no issue with his churn. They come on here, they want to talk about specific people. I'm like, listen here, that was your dad, that was your mom, that was your uncle, that was your nephew, that was your aunt, that's grand. So yeah, okay. So now we do it like this. We're gonna throw it on out there too. We're gonna throw it on out there too. We're gonna throw out there. Bam. Because you kind of threw it on out there, because he already kind of did that. Because we're gonna ask who your people are, who are your people, and he already threw that on out there, who your people. So we're gonna throw it out there. Who inspires you? What inspires you?
I'm a fan of Jesus Christ. Let me say this: I'm not a fan. I'm a follower. I'm a follower. Fans come and go. They kind of fair weather. I'm a follower, and more of his life practices, not in so much in the traditional sense. And I am an ordained minister, and I love the church that Christ died for. But I believe in following the example of Christ, and unfortunately, many of our churches have kind of lost their way, and aren't necessarily following the example that Christ set for us. So I do want to emphasize that I am a follower of Christ. And not of the traditions of men. So that inspiration comes from on high.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Deirdre Murray, glad to have you with always one of our great supporters. Now, Shondell Jones, he ain't driving right now. My cousin ain't driving. My cousin is parked in the car. He parked in the car. He's coaching. So that's why he's parked in the parking lot. That's why he's not driving his car. Just because don't go and say that, because I won't have no issue. So now, all right, and then we got Eric Washington. WSSSO. Yo, we want to be down. We want you hit us on up. Hit up Julius Hall. Hit us up. So again, we believe in that collaboration. So again, we are doing what we can. Again, That is Southern Soul that's making it happen. Southern Soul radio station right here. So we down with you. So now we're gonna come to this because again, that's a segue to it. What song or songs give you that that when you hear it like bam? What song or songs give you that feeling, that sensation?
Well, you know what? You know the first thing came to mind when you said that. Believe it or not, the Humpty Dance for some reason just popped in my head when you said that. And then,
All
ah,
right.
do me, baby, do the Humpty, Humpty. You
Yes,
know,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that's
Yes,
just one of
sir.
those songs. You know that just when you ask that question, that's the first song that popped in my head. So you know, I like a little raw bass. You know, it takes two to make a thing go right. You
All
know,
right. All right. All
little
right.
raw
All right.
bass. You know, I'm a little old school with it.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we that's one of the flavors that we had with regard to that's right. It takes two to make it go right. And so that's what it's about. And in fact, again, that's a segue for you also. Um, what is your work that you do? Because it takes more than two
Yeah,
to make
it
things
takes
go
it
right.
takes a really it takes a village, and in this case, it takes a city. In my 9 to 5, well, really 24/7. With the city of Savannah, I work in the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, and we are engaged in endeavoring to make Savannah a safer place to live. Uh, Again, our focus is to reduce gun violence, specifically specifically amongst youth and young adult between the ages of 12 to 25. So that's our primary focus. We want to reduce gun violence amongst all, um, but our main focus is those youth and young adult between the ages of 12 to 25.
Okay. And so people might hear ONSE that because it's called ONSE.
We say ones,
Wands. Okay.
ones,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
ones,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. That's
And,
our that's short for Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement.
and so how can people contact you, reach out to you all, and what role do you all play with regards to the neighborhoods when again people are crying out and needing assistance, guidance, help, comfort and all of that.
Well, we offer a number of services. One, we do case management. We get referrals from juvenile court as well as the Chatham County courts for those who involved with gun violence in order to kind of a deterrent. Um, as our chief of police has said so eloquently, we can't arrest our way out of this problem. So for those who may be first offenders, those type of things, or juvenile offenses with gun possession charges, may not be an aggravated assault, um, they put them in touch with our office. We offer a number of services, not that we do all the direct services ourselves, but we partner with a number of agencies in our communities, nonprofit agencies, various for-profit services that we provide, counseling, therapy, mentoring, case management, a number of different classes and workshops. We do workforce development. We're partnered with Savannah Technical College for those that may need GED training or some other type of job skill training. Of course, we work very closely with Workforce Coastal, which is another department within the city. That's a city-funded program there. We work very closely with them, again, for some of those job skill training and workforce development things. Because a lot of our crime, if you trace it back to its root, it's economic. People are trying to get out of a situation, trying to better their situation, going about it the wrong way. But if we can show them how to get out of that situation in the right way, by one endeavoring to work hard and bringing themselves with the help of the community around them out of their situation where they don't have to turn to a life of violence. That's our primary goal. And we do that with the help of many community partners, and just shout out to all those that work alongside us to help us fulfill our mission.
So with your program, I gotta be a snitch I gotta be a snitch. I gotta be part of y'all world. Basically, I'm gonna be a snitch. Y'all gonna have me disclose stuff. Y'all gonna have me, say things about my people, about my neighborhood, about my community. That's what y'all. Yeah, that's what y'all
First,
doing.
first of all, that's not snitching. Snitching, if me and you commit a crime together, and I get caught and you get away, if I tell on you, that's snitching. If I witness something
Mm,
going on and I ain't doing no wrong, and I see somebody doing something that's gonna bring harm to my community, if I allow it to continue to happen to the next person, then eventually, how do I know that I might not be next? So that's not snitching. We got this false narrative about what snitching is. If I see you doing wrong and I allow you to continue that, then I'm doing harm. I'm now become party to the crime.
mm,
So
mm,
that's not snitching. One, I can handle this in one or two ways. One, I can confront you, say, hey, man, you need to stop doing what you're doing. And definitely you don't need to do it around me because I don't know how to lie well. So if they
mm,
ask
mm,
me,
mm,
if they
mm,
ask me, I'm gonna tell, and that ain't snitching. I'm
mm,
gonna tell you to your face. I'm gonna tell on you.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
you got one or two choices: to stop doing what you're doing, or to, at a minimum, stop doing what you're doing around me.
mm,
So that's gonna drive that out of my community because you ain't gonna want to do it around me because I'm telling you I'm gonna tell on you. So that ain't snitching.
mm.
Snitching is when you are committing acts and you get caught and then you go and tell on somebody else to lessen your sentence. That's what snitching is. So I
Okay.
hope that answers your question.
Hey, because we want to put on out there. We said everybody that share, because this is important information. Because again, those who are in environments and that you have programs that are trying to assist and help people become, well, make that transition from one world to another world. And so that comes into play with regard to somebody. And in fact, I'll back up and say this. Someone said to me, we had a conversation that somebody was putting information out there, and it's like they're putting out like a rumor. And so I said, yeah, sometimes they start innocently and sometimes they don't start innocently. And so that's why somebody not having an understanding may go and say this to someone and then misguide that person, giving rumors and other misinformation. So that's why we want to have you on, and that's why we're glad for you to be here to understand. So who is that person that should be? Matter of fact, what we're going to do as opposed, we're going to get into that, but I want us to, because we got to make sure we pay these bills. We got to make sure, our supporters get recognized. And so I don't want to have no issue with the director and the producer and see what happens. I'm the talent, but they often now they've gotten so lazy that the producers now don't want to even do. The talent got to do everything. So that's why we're gonna
Go,
take this
go
break. We're gonna come right back. That's
take a
what happened.
commercial break. Pay them
Yeah,
bills.
yeah,
Pay
yeah,
them
yeah,
bills.
yeah. We're gonna take this break, and so, but we're gonna come right back. Reverend Marco George with the WANS program of the
One.
city of
There we go.
Savannah. WANS, yes.
Hey, Fort Wentworth, Savannah, Georgia, surrounding counties. I don't know if y'all know, but y'all got a good man that's trying to do good things for y'all city. Mr. Rufus Bright. Y'all need to go ahead and re-elect him because he's already been in office. But I don't know if y'all know all the good things and wonderful things he's been doing for the city. I don't know if y'all know who I am, but I'm Big Bro Dre. This is the Found First production. You know what I mean? I want to let y'all know that this has been brought to you by the committee to elect Rufus Bright for City Council of Fort Wentworth in Savannah, Georgia. But y'all need to tap in and tune in. You know what I mean? And keep following him and vote for him. Get out to those polls. You know what I'm saying? Get ready. You know what I mean? Don't hold back. Don't sit there and waste no time. Run to them polls and make sure you go and run and vote for Mr. Rufus Bright.
Vote for Rufus Bright. Vote for Rufus Bright. Vote for Rufus Bright. Vote for Rufus Bright. You want to see some brighter days? Vote for Rufus Bright. You want somebody who knows the way? Vote for Rufus Bright.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
We are back. This is Runtel
All
back with
right,
Brother
all right.
Sports with the ONSE program of the city of Savannah. So, what I was going to throw out to you before the break, and oh, I forgot to do this right here. Support our supporters, David Johnson Boatman offices in Savannah, Statesboro, and Atlanta, and Kim's Cafe, located at 714 MLK Junior Boulevard. I was there today. I was there at Kim's Cafe today because I had some people there at Kim's Cafe. One of the tour groups at right there at Kim's Cafe, and they had discussed stuff about the producer and president of Our Black Meter Hot 200 Savannah. They said, Jamal, how is you as a talent that you as talent got to do all of the production work right now? Why you got to do that as talent? That's what they said. It wasn't me. They said that at Kim's Cafe. So we are back. We are back. Cuz we are back.
I'm not gonna get into that one. I'm not gonna get into that one. I'm gonna stay away from that.
But that's fine. If you want to come on my side, that's all good. That's all good. You know, but I'm just saying, everybody know, you know
I'm
what Julius all doing us. You know, I got to get my contract and stuff like that.
I'm gonna be like the country of Swiss and remain neutral.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we come to this. So how can someone, and just say, I have a son, I have a daughter that had been involved in gun violence. How can they become a part of the program? What do I need to do as that person sitting right there and I see my son and see my daughter doing some things and got some things that I might ask a question. How you got that? And you 17 years old. How you got that? You 16 years old. How you got that? So
Well,
how can I get my child involved? How can I give them information and guide them with regards to maybe joining the ONSE program?
I'm glad you asked that because we do take referrals. Community referrals is what we call them. Your child, your grandchild, your niece, your nephew. If you know they're heading down the wrong road, they're involved with guns, you can call our office, and that's 912-651-2443, and make a referral, and we will engage that young person. We will try to get them paired up with a mentor and try to get them on the right track. We would do what's called a needs assessment to try to see what's going on. If there's a need for a counseling therapy, we will recommend those services, but not just recommend them. We'll actually foot the bill for them. If they need training classes, anger management, conflict resolution, if they are beefing with somebody in the community and they need mediation services, we will provide those things and pay for them. We provide these services in partnership with our community partners. We have a group of mentors who we've already done background checks on some of these. And when I say background check, if you're interested in maybe being a mentor, we welcome that as well. And you don't have to be a squeaky clean because our mentors, most of them have lived experiences. The thing when we say doing background check, we want to make sure they don't have crimes against children. We don't want to be pairing young people up with people that are predators. But outside of that, we want mentors with lived experiences who may have done some time in prison, who can speak from a place of experiential knowledge to help steer these young folk on the right path. We have a group of mentors that we work with again, but we do take community referrals. All of our referrals don't have to come from the court system. We do take those community referrals.
And so I'm gonna ask you to go when you first talked about it because it buffered for you and it buffered for me. Can you just say how can
Okay.
they get in touch? And you gave the telephone number. Can you go and state that again?
Yeah. Again, we do take those community referrals. If you want to refer, if you have a child, a niece, nephew, any of those things, a little cousin, whatever, someone that's in that 12 to 25-year-old range, and you want to refer them to us, again, we offer a number of different services. We would do a needs assessment with them. We'll get them paired up with a mentor. If they're in need of some type of counseling or therapy services, we offer those services at our cost. The city of Savannah foots the bill for that. We offer mediation services, conflict resolution classes, things of that nature. And we can be reached in our office at 912-651-2443. Again, that's 912-651-2443. And we welcome your referrals. Again, all of our referrals don't have to come from the court system. We do take community referrals.
All right, excellent, excellent. And so again, we said that this is the part was needed, and we share this with folks that oftentimes we blame young people, but then we go and say to folks, we blaming them. But I tell folks, put the mirror on yourself and say, what have you done to help those young people? What
Exactly.
have you done?
Yeah. Again, young people are young, and a lot of the things they're doing is because of immaturity. They don't know any better. So rather than us criticizing, pointing the finger, and talking down to them, what are we doing to help lift them up? What are we doing to help point them in the right direction? What are we doing to share the resources that we know about? So this is what we're doing. You now, if you're watching this broadcast, now you know of another resource for a young person. So if there's a young person in your life, hey, I commend. One mother took it to the extreme today, and didn't call ONSE. Maybe she didn't know about ONSE, but she was brave enough to call the police on her own 14-year-old child because
Mm,
she found a gun in that child's backpack,
mm, mm,
and she knew, hey, I didn't buy this gun for them.
mm,
This gun
mm,
shouldn't be in my house.
mm,
So that mother called the police on that 14-year-old child. So
mm,
now that mother may very well have prevented a shooting in our community because she took the gun out of her own child's hand. She may have caused her child now to look up and realize, wait a minute, this is not acceptable behavior. I need to do something different.
mm,
Will that child initially maybe be upset with that mother? Yeah, but she may have saved that child's life because most of our young people that are getting shot are carrying weapons.
mm, mm,
Our young people that are out here not carrying weapons, most of them aren't being shot at.
mm, mm,
So if you have a need to carry a weapon, it's usually because you're involved in some activities
mm,
that someone is trying to shoot at you.
mm.
So again, we need to help redirect that behavior, and we take our work with a four-pronged approach, and that
Yes.
is intervention. Prevention is the first thing, intervention, redirection, and then the long-term progression is that fourth thing. And again, when we take someone on our caseload, we don't put them in an 8-week program and that's the magic bullet and that's it.
Right.
We stay
Mm,
with them at a minimum for a year. And many young people that are on my caseload have been with me for multiple years. Again, they may come to us at 12 and we're going to stay with them until they're 25 and even older. There's young men, before I went to work for the city of Savannah, I was doing this same type of work and mentoring young people. And so I have hundreds and countless of godchildren. And I know you coming from the education and teaching at the college level, you're still in touch with some of your former students. Because again, when you pouring into people's lives, you don't just let them go. You stay with them for a
mhm.
lifetime, for as long as they'll accept you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and I throw it on out there because we kind of threw it out there. So this mother took action, and somebody else said, "Why she snitched on her child?" Again, you all understand that's not snitching. That she's looking at something much larger that will impact
Exactly.
her life, impact her, possibly impact her life, and I was just saying possibly impact her life and the life of her child and other people, and that she prevented some of that trauma from happening. That again, there'll be another course, another pathway with regard to her child. Now understanding, but then parents being parents, because that's again something we fall victim to. Parents not being parents not
Yeah.
understanding, making sure.
I tell you the opposite. We had another mother I got a text from yesterday, uh, uh, whose home was shot up. Her son, involved with guns, shot someone about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and she felt like it was a retaliatory thing. Okay, now when your son was involved with guns and ended up shooting somebody, or you may have seen a gun in his room, Did you
Mm,
take the time and do what this mother did today?
mm,
And had you done that, maybe your home wouldn't have gotten shot up. Maybe your
mm.
child would have never shot another young teenager. That mother, I commend her because she took steps to prevent her child from becoming another statistic,
Hmm.
to prevent her child from becoming committing. Now that child may have a charge of possession of a firearm for someone under 18, but they don't have an aggravated assault charge because she
Right.
took that gun out of their hand,
Hmm.
out of his hand. So she may have saved her own son's life, saved the life of somebody else's child that he may have taken that gun and shot with it. So I commend her. She didn't snitch. She made, hey, this is not acceptable in my house. And that's what a parent should be doing. Too many times we want to be our kids' friends and not be parents. It's our job to parent our kids and not be our kids' friends. I didn't like everything my mama did to me. I tell you all the time, I was a drug baby. And not my mama wasn't strung out on drugs, but I got drugged at church. My mama drugged me to church. My
Okay.
grandmama
Okay.
drugged me to church. My big sister drugged me to church until it stuck. And,
Hmm.
and, and even my brother, who was heading down a different path, slapped me upside my head and sent me home when he saw me in the streets. So he helped me make it past the streets. When I went off to Morehouse College, my older brother came out on a federal indictment. He knew the path he was heading down. He kept me off the streets when I was in high school.
Okay.
So
Okay.
even though he was living that lifestyle, he didn't want me to go down that road.
Right.
So
Hmm.
again, he in a sense snitched on me by slapping me upside my head and sending me home. Go home. If whether he told mama on me, whatever, again, I thank God for him. Now he's doing well now, you know, from a financial standpoint, he's doing better than me. But again, he had to pay for the things he did. He did his time. He came home. He's rebuilt his life, and he's one of those people that have lived experience. Oftentimes, we like to say, I'm a product of my environment. I'm a product of my situation, my circumstances, and I say that's false. We're a product of
Okay.
our choices,
Mm,
regardless of our
mm,
situation
mm,
and circumstances.
mm.
We have choices to make, and we make those choices of our own free will, and we have to be willing to deal with the consequences of those choices.
Right. You're correct. Absolutely. 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 And that's right. Choices are made. And then people directing you, telling you, like, listen, this is not for you. Because you have other people out there who help romanticize some of this right here. They romanticize the lifestyle. They romanticize this type of action that this is how people should be. And then, especially when you have young and impressionable minds, because impressionable minds, that now they're looking at that and that's what they want to be, because they're thinking that is the image of what it means to be a man, to be a woman, or to be cool, to be accepted, to be viewed in a favorable light. So, what's your thoughts, your concepts of some of these concepts like that?
Well, like you say, it is romanticized, it's glamorized in some of our music, and everybody want to be a rap star or an athlete, and again, so much of this lifestyle is glamorized, but a lot of these people that are glamorizing and romanticizing this ain't really living their lifestyle. They going home to the suburbs. They ain't living in the hood. They ain't trapping like they rapping about. They ain't drilling and doing all the stuff they're talking about in their music. Most of them don't even live that lifestyle. They're painting a false picture of who they are, and they're glamorizing this stuff, and they ain't really about that life. They're going home to their nice home in the suburbs while you stuck in the hood living out the stuff they putting on these CDs and albums. Well, I don't even know if they got CDs. Everything's a download nowadays. It's all digital, but the music they're putting out is poisoning the minds of our young people. So again, we have to look. We have to think critically. We have to think critically and say, really, how productive is this? We have to think critically about what we allow into our ear gates, what we
Yes,
allow
sir.
our eyes to see. What are we consuming? Because what we consume becomes a part of us, and it
Mm.
gets into
Yes,
our
sir.
subconscious, and we end up living that out. So we have to be careful. People thought I was crazy when my kids were coming up. In the middle, I'm a huge LA Lakers fan, and in the middle of the Lakers on their three-peat with Shaq and Kobe, I turned my cable off because
Ah.
I woke up in the middle of the night, and my oldest son, he's 20, he'd be 25 this year. He was 5 years old at the time. He was crouching down in front of the TV and looking at cartoons, but I was afraid. What if he saw something else on the TV? It
Mm,
was
mm,
late night. I just,
mm,
I got up and was walking through and just
mm-hmm.
had an uneasy feel. I got up, was checking the house. I turned the cable off. I said, I'm gonna make sure I know what they're consuming. So if it ain't on network television, they ain't gonna get it. And anything else
Ah.
they want to watch, we
Okay.
buying the videos so we can again control what they're consuming.
Mhm.
Everybody thought I was crazy. My kids didn't get cell phones until they were in high school, and the only reason they got them then is because they were involved in extracurricular activities to be able to call me and my wife to pick them up after school. So again, our kids are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. They got iPads and iPhones and all of these things with all kind of garbage being consumed by them. And we have to be mindful of what we're allowing our young people to consume because they become what they're consuming. That becomes a part of them, and that is a great influence, as you said earlier, when their minds are so impressionable at that young age, that becomes a part of who they are, and they begin to live this stuff out and don't even realize they're doing it because that stuff is getting into their subconscious mind.
I'm listening to you. I'm like saying you absolutely that. I'm just like I'm. I guess somebody look at my facial expressions and stuff like that. I'm like saying, yo, that's
Yeah,
it. I mean, you talk about the consumption. You know, I might have to. I start to steal that. I might have to take that, but I ain't gonna necessarily give you credit for it.
listen,
Because you
listen,
had talked about that
listen.
consumption.
Let me give you the rule for this. The first time you use it, you say like my cousin Marco say, such and such and such and such. The
Uh-huh.
next time you use it, you can say like they always say, such and such and such and such. The third time you use it, like I always said. So
I
you can
got,
apply
damn,
it
I
the
got.
first
That's
time.
what. At that third
Listen,
time, it could be mine. That third time,
it's mine.
one, two,
It's
three,
yours.
it could be mine.
It's
Okay, all right.
yours.
That's what. That I do that.
That's the rule we use in the pulpit.
Okay,
You can get
all
credit
right,
for the first
bam.
time.
Hey, I can roll with that. And so, because you talk about that, again, you talk consumption. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I tell you, it becomes almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. We
Yes.
consume the stuff, and then especially then when you throw out the element of young people, minds that are not developed yet, minds that are not developed, and who then
Right.
can't, who are not able to discern, who are not able to discern. So and then you have people who prey on them, and that's why I'm saying this. Just like you threw it out there, that it's not just sexual predators, it's mental predators out there,
Yes.
mental predators out there who are not looking and not getting that person. Because again, we're idolizing them, and see now. So we going to, you making me go to another level on some of this. I wasn't, because it's divine. This is what happens when you don't have that mama and that daddy in that home. And now what I'm going
Yeah.
to say in that home, I'm talking about in that environmental home for young people. That again, you don't
Yes.
have that father figure, you don't have that mother figure. And when I'm saying, so now I'm putting on out there, now some people, if you get upset, I don't care if you get upset. I'm saying that responsible father figure, that responsible mother figure, that responsible father figure that will set them on the pathway as to what is correct, what is incorrect and how they need to treat people and how they should want to be treated themselves, having that respect for themselves and respect for other people. When you don't have those people in that environment, because so I want to say this, some may not be physically in the home, but guess what? Across the street is that man or that woman who are mentors or who help
Absolutely.
and guide and who drag. Like you said they drag you. You know that you bam, you being dragged into. They dragging them with the guards. So they're watching them and seeing them and spying them. And now when the kids see they're doing something wrong, and they got that
Yeah.
look on their face just like that, then they like, oh shoot, you know, Mr. Jamal ain't gonna be happy with that. You know, Uncle Jamal ain't gonna be happy with that. You know, like Uncle ain't gonna be, because again, they're not understanding. I expect better of you. I taught you better than that. I shared more with
Exactly.
you about that. And so when you don't have them in that environment, this is what happens. So now this other person who's a predator, they're looking, because in fact, I was discussing it with some young people who came from Macon. That was a group that I had there. And I told them, I said, when you all are sitting silent, I said, guess what? Some other people are looking at it
They're
and
watching
they're
you.
preying on you. But they're watching you because they're like, they ain't saying nothing. Because that tells me something right there. But then you got that other one who's gonna say such and such, so and so and so and so. Then they're looking like, they realize now that this one right here, someone is a fighter. This is someone who at least got some independent thought. They just everybody else just chilling. That person is not chilling, and so that I tell young people, I tell all the people, everybody. I said, you're not ordinary, you're extraordinary, and you show you being extraordinary. You don't just sit down and just chill. And so that's why I said you push me to go, because I ain't mean to throw all that out like that to you. But yo, brother, what you were saying profound, and that is a part of, again, the crisis that we have right now that we can rectify. It's not a crisis that is just, that is the future and the present. Guess what? It's a crisis that can be rectified, that is knocked out of the present and the future.
Yeah, and we have to understand, like you said, there are people preying on our young people, and what we have to understand is a lot of our record labels are owned by people who are preying on them. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery, but there is a clause in the 13th Amendment that says, except for punishment as a crime. So what a lot of people don't realize is slavery is still legal. So with that, these folk, the same folk that own the record labels in the state of Georgia, they and I don't know what the numbers are in other states, but there are a lot of privatized prisons. And you know who invested in those privatized prisons? The same people that own the record labels that are romanticizing this lifestyle, because they want you in prison, because you their free labor force. You are their free labor force, and then their buddies own the warehouses and the factories that need you to manufacture their goods at at a low cost. Okay, so there's a whole system out there designed for you to fail. They are preying on you. I encourage young people all the time, specifically when I'm talking to young mothers who are raising their child on their own without that father figure in the home. I said, get your child involved in some sports or any type of activity where there's going to be some positive men around their life to pour into their lives. Because even if that father isn't in the home with them, they need to be around positive men that's going to pour into their lives that they can look up to. Okay, I coach high school football over here. You can see the Warriors, Jenkins High School here. I coach high school football, and when we have meetings with our boosters, 80%, 70, 80% of the parents that show up is moms, single moms. So we got all these male coaches, about 10, 15 of us men who are pouring into these young men's lives. And we ain't just concerned about their behavior when they're on the football field. How you doing in class? How you doing outside of school? What's going on? If one of those mothers call me, say, Coach, such and such and such and such, I'm going to jack somebody up. Because again, as you said earlier, I'm calling you on the carpet because I expect better from you. I know what I've poured into you. I know what I've instilled in you. So I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm not gonna allow you to perform below what I know you're capable of. So I'm gonna hold you, I'm gonna challenge you to rise up to this standard. I'm holding it up here and I'm gonna challenge you to rise up to it.
I just gotta say, absolutely, absolutely, you are absolutely correct, and that's why I say that environmental home. That's all that again, those coaches,
Yeah.
those other people right there, and that goes for young ladies also. So all of that, and that is, and that's a part of the dilemma that we're facing with regards, I say, that crisis that we got to address this, and again, we are able to stem the tide of that and make it happen. And so we need the community. You talked about the community coming together with regards to this. And this is one program that's being done by the city of Savannah. And so you all have a summer program that you all are doing, correct?
Yeah, we have several summer initiatives. We have our Path Forward program, which is the young men that you met when we brought them on the tour. Um, so that's our Path Forward program, and these are our most high risk youth. These are many of these young men already have either been a victim of gun violence or have been perpetrators of gun violence, trigger pullers. And so we try to keep them engaged throughout the summer. Their ages range between 17 to 20. And then this is a work exploration program. So we take them and they tour a number of different work opportunities. They shadow several departments of the city of Savannah, but they also are um, uh, they visit Gulfstream, the airport, Georgia Ports Authority, International Paper, JCB, Hyundai, all of these places, and they get an opportunity to see jobs that require nothing more than a high school diploma or GED, making good money. Georgia Ports, you can go and start out there as a equipment operator and go within 2 to 3 years time and be earning six figures. You
Mm,
know, so
mm.
so many different opportunities. Gulfstream, another one. There's opportunities out there, and to show them, man, I can do this and make legal money, and ain't got to be looking over my shoulder. So we try to show them. So that's one of our programs, and that's the program you met. And again, this program has very stringent requirements to get in, because again, these are our most high risk, and we only take people in on referrals. Most of our referrals are coming from the court system for that particular program. And most of these young men, by the time they get done with the summer, will be going on to some of these jobs that we're talking about. We take them to the carpenters union, the welders union, these different skilled trade unions, and they're ready to hire them. And so these young men will have the opportunity to advance their life and chart a new path forward. That's the name of our program. So we have that program, but we also have our NIT program, which is our neighborhood improvement team. Now we have 10 of those teams. We grant, we give many grants to our various neighborhood associations, and we have 10 neighborhoods that have neighborhood improvement teams where our young people are paid to go and help do beautiful neighborhood beautification projects. So we encourage them to those neighborhood associations, whether they're doing something with a community garden or whether they're helping out doing litter pickup in the community, or there may be some elderly folk in the community that cannot maintain their yards. So they're doing that. We buy the lawnmower equipment for them. All of our neighborhood improvement teams, they get a lawnmower, they get weed eaters, they get blowers. We provide them with the little class to pick up the litter. We provide them with gloves, goggles, safety vests. All of those things are provided by the city of Savannah. So these are programs that we operate throughout the summer and will operate. They started June 2nd and they'll operate through the end of July, right up until the kids are ready to head back to school. With our neighborhood improvement teams and the ages of those young people between the ages of 14 to 18. And we hire each of those teams can hire up to 10 youth, and we encourage them to hire youth that live in that community that may be at risk in order to keep them engaged so that they get an opportunity to earn some money and not just be in the neighborhood. And of course, we know the old saying, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So we're keeping these young people busy throughout the summer. So that's 110 young people right there through these various summer programs that we're keeping engaged. And of course, our sister departments like recreation and others have the various different summer camps and things that they're doing. But our program, the neighborhood improvement team and Path Forward, and oh, I almost forgot, we also have our theater arts program, which we call Yazoo, and that's Young Artists of Savannah United, where we have a group of young people that are learning and they're going to perform a play. And that play is going to be put on at the Cultural Arts Theater. We have a resident playwright who works with these young people, and they're learning that play, and he does teaches them how to engage their peers through theatrical arts. And so this play again is a play that deals with the topic of gun violence, and so they'll perform that play, and then there'll be a Q&A session after the play to be able to have dialogue with those young people that are involved in the play and the audience to again address the subject of gun violence in the community. So those are three programs that the ONSE office operates, and those are fully funded through the city of Savannah.
All right. And so we have Pastor Leonard Small, Reverend Dr. Leonard Small is going to say that what they do, they going to buy TWIC cards, that they purchase TWIC cards for young people. They help with regard to that. Now, Shalima Hickman, she threw some things up there with regards to talking about the pipeline and indicating that. And so they say like plumbers, construction workers, and other things that are dominated by other folks. But then also you are working with those people, with the craftsmen, so then that way they are able. That's one of the things that you threw out there, that again, you are helping and assisting with regards to that. And Craig and others have discussed, Craig Butts, Mara discussed that again. We have seen this happening for a while, that this is something that's going on, and that they threw out to us fantasy, and that this fantasy now for some of us become this sick reality. And so movements are being made. So I got to do this. I got to do this. We're going to come right back and we're going to be winding it up. But we got to make sure it happens again. We got to go take this break right now.
All right. Pay them bills.
Savannah, are you looking for some of the best Southern soul food? Then check out Kim's Cafe at 714 MLK Boulevard. The food is so good, you'll think that your mother cooked it. Located in the heart of Savannah, Kim's has a menu that includes breakfast anytime, lunch when you need it, and dinner so you won't have to cook when you get home. They also cater all types of events and can host your reserved event at the restaurant. Come see what everyone has been raving about. Great food, great atmosphere, and a great time. Kim's Cafe, 714 MLK Boulevard in beautiful downtown Savannah.
We are back. This is Run Tell That, and we have with us Reverend Marco George with the ONSE program at the city of Savannah. And so we got to throw this out there to you. Hot 2100 Savannah. That is, again, the QR code right there. Check us out. Well, we play the best music in the entire world. Hot2100savannah.com. You can get us on Apple CarPlay, Alexa. You can get us on your Droid app, on your iPhone app. You can get us on your tablet. You can get us on your iPad, on your desktop. You can even put us on your tabletop, and you can check us out. So again, Hot 2100 Savannah and the world. And we are back right now again with Reverend Marco George with the ONSE program. And so we're winding it down to the last minutes. What are the things that the people need to know? And with regards to ONSE and what you want to foresee, what do you foresee for ONSE, and what do you want to see happen for ONSE?
Right now, I'm excited because we're in the middle of a building expansion. in order to grow our team so that our reach can even be more expanded. That we'll have more staff to meet the needs of the city. I'm excited about that. So that'll be coming here. Uh, uh, Hopefully they'll be finished with that construction project the latter part of this year. So going into the new year, we'll be able to bring on some more staff. The other thing is, um, again, we want to make the city safe for all of us, a safe place to live, a safer place to work, a safer place to play. So again, we want to engage the community and talk about the issue of youth gun violence in our city.
Yes, 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 indeed, yes, indeed. And how can people get in touch with you all again? How can people get in touch with you all? What's the telephone number? Folks, can you hear me? Or is he frozen? Reverend George, can you hear me? All right, hold on, let's see something. Reverend George, can you hear me? All right. I oh, is he frozen? Let me see something. Reverend George, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know how much of that you caught.
Oh
I know
yes,
it buffered a
no.
little bit.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, because we saw you moving, but then it was just like, so we're like, okay. So, what's the telephone number where they can contact you all?
Call us at 912-651-2443. Again, that's 912-651-2443.
Okay, the ONSE program, City of Savannah, important program, looking saving the lives of young people, saving the lives of families, saving the lives of all of us. Because again, it's not just young people, it's all of us impacted by this right here.
Yes.
The
Yes.
ONSE program. We're now coming down to the last nearly 3 minutes of the show.
Yeah, you said something very important. While we work to reduce gun violence amongst youth ages 12 to 25, it affects all of us. And last week we saw that shooting in the Oglethorpe Mall, where it affected everyone. And unfortunately, we had a lady that lost her life who wasn't in any way involved in the shooting, but her heart rate elevated. She went into cardiac arrest because she got so afraid trying to get away from the gun violence that was going on. So this is something that affects all of us. You can say, oh, that happens over there in that neighborhood, or that happens over there, and it don't affect me. It affects all of us, and we can't wait until it gets to our doorstep to try to do something about it. If it affects one of us, it affects all of us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Reverend Dr. Leonard Small was looking at the show. I'll let y'all know this. Reverend Dr. Leonard Smalls is a mortal enemy of HBJ. He's a mortal enemy. Reverend Dr. Leonard Small is a mortal enemy of HBJ. Understand that. He is a mortal enemy of HBJ. Reverend Dr. Leonard Smalls, let y'all understand that. He's a mortal enemy. Now, my cousin, Reverend Marco George, ONSE program. If you notice, Easter Jesus King of West Savannah. I am the King of West Savannah, and I have on the AEB, which stands for Alfred Eli Beach High School. I am the king of it. I am the king of 3001 Hopkins Street. I am the king of Augusta Ave and all of that over there. So I'm going to ask this question. I want you just to be honest right now, because God is watching you. God is watching you, because Reverend Dr. Small goes astray. What is the best high school? Because this is the most important question. Because this question, the last question, the most important question is, what is the best high school in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia?
You asking me that high school? You
Yeah.
asking me that question? You already said the address, 3001 Hopkins Street, Alfred Eli Beach High School. You already said it. You asked me that question. I coach at Jenkins, but on the inside, I bleed blue and gold. I am a proud alumni of the oldest high school in Savannah, Georgia, the Alfred Eli Beach High School. What are you talking about? You asked a question of me? Did you really go there with me? You already knew the answer to that question. Oh, now you can't talk. Now you're buffering. Come on back. Come on. What you got to say? I coach at Jenkins because my son graduated from Jenkins, and I stayed over here after he graduated. He's now a senior at Savannah State University. However, when you ask a question about the greatest high school in Savannah, Georgia, that is none other than the Alfred Eli Beach High School. Any more questions, sir?
And he tried to be slick earlier. He tried to bring us some foolishness about Morehouse, but
listen. I was a part of Savannah State College before it was university. Savannah State College Upward Bound program. I love Savannah State, but I attended my college years at Morehouse College.
The producer is the producer.
830 Westview Drive in the west end of Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, yes, okay. I'm cutting him off. I'm gonna cut him off. There's producer. Julius Hall. Julius Hall just came to me. Julius Hall just came to me.
Yeah, blame it on somebody else. Blame it on somebody else. I got it. Blame it on somebody else.
So it wasn't me. Julius Hall. He just came to me. He said he's doing his producer role right now. He told me, he said, "You got to cut him off. You got to cut him off. Cut. Y'all got to go." So that's what
I love you. Again, I love you. Just remember, I love you, cousin. I love you
too. I love you too. And again, it was the wrong answer from him both times. The wrong answer. Herschel B. Jenkins High School, aka Heavens B. Jenkins High School. Heavens B. Jenkins High School. And God is the first. God is the first alum of Jenkins, class of eternity. Yeah, class of eternity. And it might even be some class of infinity. So, but yes, we're glad to have you with us and appreciate the work that you're doing. And so we can say, check out the work that they're doing. If you need help, they're there for you. They got a lot of things happening. And also, we're going to throw this out to you all. Check out all our shows on Our Black Media, and check out Hot 2100 Savannah, and check out Juice and Jamal in the mornings, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock on Saturdays with DJ Vicious. And so we say we're signing out, but check out all our shows. This is Run Tell That. Appreciate you. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for having me.